Hi, I'm Jay Nordlinger with the Human Parade. We're in New York City, with a New Yorker if there ever was one, Mayor Ed Koch. He's not been mayor in some time, since 1989, but it's still perfectly natural to call him mayor. It's like he was born with that name. You weren't born named mayor, were you?
No.
He was born Edward I. Koch, Edward Irving Koch, in the Bronx. He served in World War II, going to France. He was elected to Congress in 1968, spending 4.5 terms there. Why the half? In 1977, he was elected mayor of New York. He served in that role for 3 terms. In his post-mayoral years, because it's been over 20 years now, he's been a whirlwind of activity, writing book after book, penning column after column, doing radio show after television show after everything else. He was a judge on the People's Court. He's a regular movie reviewer. He corresponds with people in and out of public life all over the world and often publishes that correspondence. Many years ago, in the early 1980s, I believe, Robert Novak, the late journalist, called Koch one of the most interesting politicians in America. I agree.
Thank you.
You were born in the Bronx, but did you grow up in New Jersey?
For 10 years. We left the Bronx when I was 7 years old in 1931 during the Depression. My father didn't have a job, and he got a job in Newark, and I was there, went to high school in Newark, and then escaped when I was 17 or so, and back in 1941 we moved to Brooklyn.
Where in Brooklyn?
Flatbush on Ocean Parkway, Avenue C.
Tough neighborhood or a tranquil neighborhood?
Oh, very tranquil, very tranquil.
What did your dad do, and how did you weather the depression?
Well, my father, I love my father, I love my mother, both deceased, obviously. My father always, he died at 87, he always had 2 jobs. He was such a hard worker, such a sweet man. Everybody loved him. And he was basically a fur manufacturer making fur coats. And of course, during the Depression, people didn't buy fur coats. So my uncle, my mother's brother, gave him a hat check concession in a dance hall that he had. And he checked hats and coats, and I checked them along with my mother and my father. It was a tough life. And then, as I say, in about 1941, we moved to Brooklyn, and he went back into the fur business.
Did you see grim scenes during the Depression? Did you see breadlines? Did you see bums? Did you see people speak?
Actually not. I mean, we were very poor, but we didn't know we were poor, at least a child my age, because everybody was poor. And
I meant out and about when you were a kid, not necessarily.
No, I didn't see breadlines. No, I did not. I know that we, on Saturdays, would buy in the Dugan's Bake Shop bread that was maybe a day or a week old, and cakes at maybe 20% of the price. And if a cake was $1, we would be paying less than a quarter. So.
Did you have childhood aspirations? Did you want to be in politics? Did you want to be in showbiz?
No.
Baseball player?
Well, you know, a Jewish kid is either a doctor or a lawyer. And I decided I'd be a lawyer.
Yeah. And did you go to law school here in New York?
I went to New York University School of Law. Yeah.
After the war?
After the war. Well, it was interesting. I was very lucky because I served in the Army drafted for 3 years. And when I came back, I only had 2 years of CCNY, but I applied directly to NYU Law, and they took me. And as a result of that, and I was also in the last accelerated class, so you did 3 years of law in 2 years, I came out the same age that I would have been had I not been drafted.
Ah, that worked out neatly.
Yeah.
What did you see in the war?
I was in France and Germany, and I was in the combat infantry, the 104th Infantry Division. And it was a very important part of my life.